Hello, 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 beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor, bringing you another video on how to raise your vibration so you can live your best life. I am so happy to be with you in such an aligned way that having taken this time over the last couple of weeks to regroup, recenter, reground, realign. It's so beautiful on the other side. So if you are one of the newer members to the channel, to the community, I would love to welcome you and just reiterate that if you are a light worker, if you are a purpose-driven entrepreneur, if you are part of the New Earth Construction team, you are in the right place. This channel is for you. And there have been a lot of insights coming through on the success path and what that looks like, and how we go from a wounded light worker or a hidden light worker to a healing light worker, to a seen and visible light worker, to a shining, beautiful beacon and lighthouse to others. And I'd like to talk to you today about meditation versus stillness and some insights that come through the traditional therapy of brain spotting. As you know, I am a trained facilitator and recently went through phase 2 training. But also, as I have studied psychology and practiced brain spotting, facilitated it for clients, it has evolved into something that we are now calling trauma spotting through source tapping, or TSST. And the reason I have dared to give such a beautiful modality a new name is because there is more to it. And especially that was reiterated in this past training session, that when you are with a group of trained psychologists or social workers or people in the human sciences, there is only so much that brain spotting can do. But when you are in a group of light workers, or you are one-on-one with a wounded or healing light worker, you're able to bring in and open up to source healing. And it is very different. And it brought to my attention this past weekend, as I woke up at 3 a.m. to be on UK Trainers Time, Mark Grigsby, the most amazing trainer in all of the world that I'm aware of. Obviously, I am partial and biased, but I suspect that my beautifully neutral trainer, Mark Grigsby, is likely also a light worker, although he does not make it known. But it is evident that when you brain spot with someone who does not understand the metaphysical, the unseen realms, that there is a lost element. That when it is just me and another light worker, it is powerful and it is tremendous. And the healing, there's no limits. The sky's the limit. The sky's not even the limit. And it's so powerful. And it really brought to my awareness the difference between meditation and the stillness that is created through brain spotting. I'll say trauma spotting through source tapping, because there is an element of source healing. And I will be cautiously arrogant enough to say that we are working with source in these sessions. So many tangents that I could go on, but I'm going to stay the course here. It was brought to my attention that obviously there are many different types of meditation. We can have silent meditation. We can be mindful in our meditation. We can do body scans, even yoga. walking meditation, guided meditation. Most of the time, there is an assumption that we have to be still, that we have to have our eyes closed, and that we need to silence the mind. And I'm not here to say that any form of meditation is wrong or that there's not benefit in it. Of course there is. And of course, only you know what is right for you. No one can tell you otherwise. But what I will say is what is profound, what happens in brain spotting and especially happens in TSST, trauma spotting through source tapping, is a level of stillness that I have never known before doing this work. And what I realized was that there is an efforting in meditation for me historically. Now, a guided meditation is easier because it gives my mind something to do. Silent meditation has become easier after probably close to 10 years of practice. But there is still a coming back to stillness that has to happen, a redirect, a redirect, a redirect. And that, again, has its place and has its purpose. But we've heard terms like stillness speaks, or be still and know that I am God. That there is something available to us in a stillness that is accomplished after processing. And I'd like to separate them out. And I'll say meditation has its place, has its purpose. It does serve a function and likely is what is needed for many. But I will say if you identify with being an aspiring, purpose-driven entrepreneur or a wounded light worker or an unseen light worker, and you're aspiring to be that lighthouse that truly makes a shift and a difference in the world, but can't quite seem to make that happen, there is processing that is healthy and natural and needed that can only happen through a somatic healing modality like brain spotting or TSST, trauma spotting through source tapping, because of the wounds that we have carried with us. Now, sometimes there can be called abundance blocks. Sometimes it can be called the lack mentality. We want to get really scientific and psychological. We can call it complex trauma. If you have any flavor of that unworthiness wound, where you feel you're not enough, the world is not safe enough, there's never enough resources of whatever kind, these are blocks. These are emotional blockages that are in the body. This is why a somatic therapy like brain spotting or TSST are required, because we can't solve it from the level of the mind. That the prefrontal cortex can know, I know these things already, but the limbic brain will not allow what seems to be unsafe. And that's why when we do TSST, especially trauma spotting through source tapping, I'm going to keep saying that in the next few videos just to kind of help people warm up to this new term. What we do is we allow, so I use a pointer, and I have to forewarn people because I've surprised some people are like, oh, is that your magic wand? No, it's just a telescoping pointer that they use to point at a whiteboard. But we bring out the pointer and we use the pointer to find the access point through the eyes to the limbic brain, because the eyes connect directly to the limbic brain through the optical nerve, which allows us to access that subconscious program that is hiding the trauma, hiding the blocks, hiding the lack mentality, hiding the trauma responses, hiding the tendencies that hang out in our blind spot that no one can see on their own. And when we find that access point, it is the TSST's facilitator's responsibility on the other side to hold that nervous system state that lets your body know it is safe. You are safe, you are seen, you are loved, you are held, you are valuable, you are worthy, you deserve to be seen, you deserve to have your needs met, you deserve to be abundant. Divine source, God, creator, universe wants you to be abundant, needs you to be abundant, needs you to shine your light, to do the thing that you were perfectly made for, that you came here to do. And when we hold that nervous system state for you, your body entrains to it. This is called the rest and digest, growth and repair state of our nervous system. It is also known as the feminine state, the magnetizing state. And so when the wounded light worker, the healing light worker is able to entrain to that nervous system state, we found access to the trauma, we've opened up to receive the healing, we call in source healing. There is a process that happens, processing both emotionally, physically, and mentally, that even the mind needs to work through whatever the body brings up. Sometimes it's the memory, the original wound. Sometimes it's the voices of those who shamed us, criticized us, judged us, told us we were not enough in whatever way that might have looked like, or too something, or not enough something. And then over time, usually it varies. It depends on the person. It can happen in 5 minutes. It can happen in an hour. But the processing happens and the releasing happens and it moves up and out and through. And it's released. And then call it a download, call it messages from the body, call it source. There's a reprogramming that happens. Those beliefs are rewritten. And the truth starts to surface. The truth of who you are, the truth of your value and your worth, the truth of what you came here to do, the truth of what you're capable of, and your oneness with source, your oneness with abundance becomes palpable. And the one thing that all sessions have in common is the stillness that washes over mind, body, soul, the entire being and all aspects of it. I used to say that all I wanted was peace. And what I didn't realize was that peace that I was seeking was the stillness. It reminds me of the phrase, we can't get there from here. And when we are in that hustle culture, rushed, hyper-vigilant nervous system state, we sit down to meditate and we do the breath work, which has its place. All of it has its place. But we can't get there from here. The processing is necessary. And when we're in resistance to the mind, to the processing, we are shutting down what needs to happen to be able to get to that place of stillness. I want you to know it can happen for everyone. Every single person without exception Now, the two requirements that I can see so far are one, desire to get to that place, and two, commitment to going through the process, the processing. It reminds me of the phrase, walking through the valley of the shadow of death. Although I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. It's as if we stand on the top of one hill, looking at this chasm that we have to go through, knowing that our dreams, our vision, our purpose, our impact, the light that we are meant to shine stands on the other side. And we cannot get there from here. But the beauty is we have a misconception that it's hard to go through. We have a misconception that we have to wallow in the pain, or that healing takes a long time, or that it's hard and difficult. This is the good news. Trauma spotting through source tapping is easy. It is the easiest healing modality I have experienced. It's literally effortless. You don't have to do anything but be committed to staying present in it. It will handle itself. Source is in the body. The body knows how to heal. If the body gets cut, you don't have to tell it how to heal the cut. It knows what to do. It just needs your focus and attention to give it the energy to go through the process. We also have this misconception that if we avoid it, oh, I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to look at it, that it's going to go away or that we'll avoid the pain. But the truth is, the avoidance keeps it there, keeps us stuck. I wrestled for many, many years with the question, can it really be easy? Can healing be easy, but also can life be easy? Does it have to be painful? Do we have to subscribe to the English translation of the Buddhist belief that life is suffering? And it was only through a trauma spotting through source tapping session that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I am always very careful to say things accurately. I'm very hesitant to say things that may not be true. But I can honestly say to you here and now, I know, because I have lived it, because I have felt it, because I have seen it, and I know it at a bodily, core cellular level. Life can be easy. Life can be good. And you will know it too if you go through the valley and find that stillness. Know that stillness. I don't even want to say find, because it implies effort, and it's not. There's no efforting. Again, desire and commitment to focus and attention on the process. And you don't have to do it alone. In fact, you can't do it alone. Trust me, I tried every modality out there. This is the only thing that worked for me. So I guess more than anything, I'm not here to convince you that you need to sign up for a session. That's really not my intention. I want you to know that there's something different. There's something more than just meditation. That stillness is the key. That is the peace we seek. It is the fulfillment we seek. It is the guidance we seek. It's the connection we seek. It's everything. And it is possible. And it is beautiful. So if you are an aspiring, purpose-driven entrepreneur, or even, a current efforting purpose-driven entrepreneur, I'm working on the language here. So if you have a self-identity or a definition, the way you define yourself, that's a little bit different, I would love to hear from you. How do you see yourself? Is light worker the right term? But if you can identify, if that resonates with you, when I say a wounded light worker, an unseen light worker, a hiding light worker, an aspiring light worker, if you know the things you need to do, but you can't seem to make it work, this is it. This is the key. And I humbly, and oh, it's such an honor. It is such an honor to be able to be the vessel that Source has worked through to bring this to you. And I am humbled to be able to share this with you, and to all of those who have graced me with their presence, shared their stories, as I watch them step into their full power and authority. The gifts that come online, there's so much available to us that we don't even realize. It's all down there, hidden beneath the blocks, the wounds, the trauma, the lack mentality. Come to the other side. It's beautiful over here. All right, with that, I will close. If you are an aspiring, purpose-driven entrepreneur, you want to be part of the New Earth Construction team, the community doors are open. We would welcome you with open arms. We will be doing trauma spotting as a group once a month. Otherwise, I do offer one-on-one sessions. If you're interested in the coaching and course package, I would be honored to assist you. All right. I love you, my friends. I love my beautiful aspiring lightworker family. And I will see you on the next video. Take care. Namaste, and I love you.